Hi Gemini, and welcome to your September 2020 general reading. So I'm just going to get a Lenormand for you. Okay, so you got the fishies. The fishies is a card of prosperity and abundance. So it's sort of a card of good fortune. It's very strange, Gemini, because I haven't been reading for any Geminis. So when you're not reading for a sign, you lose sort of connection with what's going on, the themes for them. So it's always a little bit of a, not sure what's going on here, okay? Just to let you know. So the fishies card is about prosperity, sort of good fortune, having enough. So it tends to be a card that says if you're struggling that there is some sort of respite in the future. Tends to be a very, very positive card. A little bit like the sun in the tarot card, just additional tarot. We will see how this is landing for you. Again, I haven't heard from any Geminis at all, so I feel very, very out of touch with what themes are going on for you. But remember, I can only work, it's the feedback that I get that helps me be more specific in readings. So we all know that Venus has eventually moved out of Gemini, North Node's there, so there's a lot of attention in your sign. It's all about communication, expressing yourself, expressing your unique gifts, expressing yourself in whatever way your soul sees fit to. So can you please give me as clear a message for Gemini as you can? So let's go on. So behind you is the Devil card with the Three of Cups. Very interesting card. The Three of Cups. These angels fly free. And they fly free because they've released what was holding them back. So what tends to hold us back is that feeling of oppression. So maybe you feel free from this oppression, or you found your freedom within the constraints of a Devil card. Yeah, so the Devil card rules, it can be a Capricorn you're dealing with, and you found this release from this energy, or the Devil card rules form. So what you can see, what you can touch, what you can feel, can feel like a sense of restriction. Okay, can I just carry on to see what else is going on? So what you're wanting is the Ace of Swords, which is clarity. The gift is the Two of Pentacles. The challenge is a Death card. Relationships, you've got the Hermit card, which is about self-reflection, going within, digesting an experience. So the fact that you've had Venus in your sign for so long, I would say for a lot of you, there's been a lot of attention in your relationship world. If it's sometimes not, sometimes it's the absence of a relationship that puts all our energy into focusing on one archetype. But the Hermit card is about wanting to reflect, take a step back, or you're dealing with a Virgo person. Money and work, you've got the Seven of Wands, Two of Wands at a soul level, which is the Gemini card. Outcome is the Empress card. That is the Fishies card, by the way. The Empress is the most prosperous. She's the most prosperous card in the whole deck. I would argue even more than the Ten of Pentacles or the Ace of Pentacles, because she rules Venus. She rules the Taurus side of Venus, which is prosperity, abundance, having plenty, security, that sort of thing. So that is obviously the Fishies card. So the Devil and the Three of Cups, some of you might have been feeling a little bit oppressed, okay? Now, the Devil card doesn't always, sometimes this is dealing with a Capricorn, and with the Three of Cups, some of you might even be in a triangular situation, confused about love choices. Again, when you don't read for a sign, you do lose contact with what's going on for them. And I am trying my best, guys. The Three of Cups, all the threes can represent more than one person. So being a little bit, shall I go right, shall I go left, which would be the Two of Wands in a soul position. If not, the Three of Cups is just about celebrating, having fun with friends, being very, very light-hearted. So releasing oppressions, releasing things that have been holding you back. It's going to play out differently for everyone. What you want is clarity, and it looks like if this is clarity around a relationship, Gemini, you're going to have to go into some self-reflection to get this clarity. And for some of you, it is around a relationship. Okay? So sometimes I call it stopping the world and going into, you know, that halt when you think, I haven't got this clarity, I am not quite sure what the way forward is, and I need to get off this big merry-go-round in order to reflect, to find the next step forward. For some of you, this is definitely regarding a relationship. For some of you, it might be finances, okay? Because of the Fishes card, tends to be a card about money. So the Two of Pentacles is the gift. Now this is about juggling, okay? There's a lot of energy around having to make a choice, Gemini. And I do understand that as Gemini's, I would say Gemini and Libra. Sometimes it's like that notoriously, which direction do I go? Do I follow one impulse or do I follow another impulse? Now that's turning up in two different positions in your reading. The Two of Pentacles tends to be about juggling finances, juggling options, trying to make a decision, trying to get balance. Again, for some of you it might be money. I find the Two of Pentacles, this is about finances. Sometimes you're holding these Two Pentacles, yeah? And sometimes you think, oh my God, I've only got Two Pentacles. And then you make a decision to let go of one of these Pentacles. And so it can be a card about making an investment in yourself. So when we make an investment in ourselves, like we might train as a new skill, we might invest in another person, we might make some sort of investment which pays dividends in the long run, yeah? Self-care and abundance and prosperity comes from investing in our own self. So if some of you are considering that, it's never a mistake to consider learning a new skill, learning something new, which in the long term will pay dividends. And that's what some of you might be doing, because the next year, I mean almost the next year and a half, so much energy is going to be in your sign, and there's a lot of pushing towards evolving yourself. So some of you might be thinking about learning a new skill. Some of you are juggling with a decision, and I think it might be to do with a relationship because of the Hermit here, and the Death card is a challenge. And this would be really evident if some of you are at that, oh my gosh, what's the future in this situation? So some of you might have to make that, what is it I don't have clarity right now, and I need to go off by myself in order to think and reflect. You know what, Gemini? A lot of people don't like it. But if we are clear and straightforward, it's not our responsibility to baby people. And sometimes people don't like it when we say, I've got some decisions to make. I need some time as the Hermit card to consider the way forward. Because I get a feeling that's what's going on for a lot of people here. For some of you might be making a financial investment, juggling finances. It's an interesting transition to the whole globe. We're dealing with a different set of circumstances. Okay, we just are. One day you'll be dealing with a different set of circumstances, but right now these are the ones that we've got. So some of you might be having to juggle finances and put boundaries up. So the boundaries would be, you know, just looking after what you've got, trying to nurture it. So what's the Seven of Wands doing? Yeah, with the Four of Pentacles. So Four of Pentacles is about your stability and your security. There's a little bit here about looking after the foundations of your life. And some of you are having to juggle 2 jobs, 2 options, or there's almost a dilemma for some of you between the foundations. Maybe some of you are even considering making an investment for the future. Invest in your own self, Gemini. I swear, anything you can do to learn more skills, to learn more ways, to make your gifts more ripe, I really advise you to do it with the Two of Pentacles. Because these aren't bad cards, the Seven and the Four of Pentacles, because there's a certain amount of having your needs met, but it's not a place that you want to live forever, because it's not a very open place. It's like you have a certain amount of security, but who wants to live in a box? And the Four of Pentacles is about being in a box. Some of you are really having to preserve what you've got, well, at the same time, make some decisions about life directions. Now, I love that Empress as the outcome, because that's really strange now, because you've got the Emperor as the clarifier. So this is the married couple in the deck. Yeah, the mother, the father. Archetypally, we all have these energies within us. So we all have this softness of the Empress, and we all have the directional force of the Emperor. Okay? In an ideal world, both of these parts are married within us. Sometimes we get an ideal world and we're in relationship with someone, and it's the energy of coupling, maybe of marriage, of commitment. Pretty much a very perfect match here. Okay, but it looks like some of you are going into this quite reflective space of having to say, what is it? I'll be back, but for now, I need to retreat. I need to go in to consider my options about what I want. This is a relationship. I don't really think it gets much better than this, Gemini, to tell you the truth. I mean, this is a perfect match. Now, I think for some of you, the issue is around work and finances. Okay. And I think some of you are in that dilemma between your security and your stability and investing in your own interests, desires, soul intentions, yeah? So, and it is a dilemma, because so many of us spend our life in meaningless job situations that don't bring us any fulfillment, Gemini, okay? Now, they bring us this, and for the life of me, I'm not saying this is essential. Everyone, I have to do it. But when the Two of Pentacles is the gift, they might be asking you to expand beyond yourself, to consider the possibility of new options and new directions, which will take you to a much more expansive, prosperous future. Because if for some of you this is not about relationships, this is about marrying these two energies of yourself. So bringing these two energies together is like living by the heart of the Empress and trust. Because the Empress trusts her needs are going to be met because she's the Empress. And she's also got access to this part of her, the Aries part, that knows how to pioneer, that knows how to go forward and set new directions for their life. Okay? And I think, I haven't felt this in your reading for a little while, but if anything, a lot of your reading in September, there feels like some decisions need to be made. Okay, regarding relationships, regarding what you do with your time, because what we do with our time is absolutely everything. Yeah, and it's a funny issue when we're trying to balance out survivalism with our growth as a person, but it can be done. And it might take juggling, having to work with learning new skills, but the universe doesn't give away its treasures free. A lot of our situations take this hard work, they take this commitment, they take this dedication, and both of these cards are about that. So it's allowing yourself to be soft and loving and gentle, but at the same time setting your roadmap and going out and deciding on the life that you want to live. Okay? For others of you, this is definitely a relationship. I'm going to try and find out why. I mean, some of you aren't obviously in a relationship. Why is the Hermit? It's the Death card is a challenge. Because if some of you are thinking about going down a new pathway, letting go of the past and the security that you have is definitely the challenge. For everyone. So what's the Death card about? It's a challenge. One card. The Knight of Cups. It is a really, yeah. This might only be for a few people, by the way. A Knight of Cups is, again, a very, very deep relational card. But the Knight of Cups is a very joyful, light energy. It goes forward, it offers its cup. But for some of you, you're making a decision to not do that at the moment, to move into the Hermit energy before you move into this energy. So why? So why are they going into the Hermit card? Yeah, Five of Wands, head and heart, a little bit of conflict. And I think some of this conflict comes from a decision it needs to make. It might be, do I want to commit to this relationship? Because the Emperor and the Empress are very, very committed cards. So some of you might be facing that decision. That's one part of it. And the other part of it is listen, Gemini, there's no right and wrong decision. Sometimes we get to a point in our lives where we just cannot fit our soul energy into a box anymore. And that's when we go through the transformation process of having to make some changes. And I think some of you are having that around your finances. Look. And sometimes I've seen these cards showing up and it's, oh my gosh, making really big decisions to, it's almost okay, my security's met here, but my joy's not met here. Sometimes we need to juggle for a while. I spent many, many years working part-time and part-time developing my business and my skills. Yeah, that's part of the process. A lot of us think there's an easy way out of it, and there's not an easy way out of it. We get to our destination one step at a time. And I think there's a lot of issues, definitely around relationships, but definitely around what do I do with my life here. Our lives are so precious, Gemini. They're so precious. I'll try and get a Lenormand. I did, honestly, I don't know when I last read for Gemini, and I feel not very, so even when you read for one, you sort of tune into the themes that they're dealing with. One more Lenormand for Gemini, please. Hold on, should we pick the top one? Okay, you're going through some sort of rebirth. So you got this card. This is a rite of passage card. So a rite of passage is simply moving to a new, I want to use the word a new paradigm. I didn't pronounce that properly, but moving to a new way of doing your life. That's what the whole theme of the year has been about. And some people have realised the life they've been living is too small, and they want to break out of that cocoon. For others of you, there's decisions about relationships that have to be made. And this month would seem to me that there's some sort of letting go in order to move forward. I mean, this is, sorry to be cliche, but this is like a sacred marriage. This is a perfect couple. And it doesn't matter if this is relationships or your energy going forward to make a decision about your future. It's like this perfect balance of energy. And I mean, as I say, this is what I got. I hope I made some sort of sense of it. If people do let me know, then I'm always more tuned to your energies. And that's how you get clear readings, guys, okay? So doing my best. Lots of love, guys, and I wish you well. Bye.